Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining me today. So, I wanted to get this video out for the fall equinox. However, many of you know that there come a lot of challenges when you're trying to shoot videos, and I was having a lot of technical difficulties. This will be literally like the 8th time I've reshot this video. So let's keep our fingers crossed and hope that the microphone works. And yeah, and my throat works too. So what I was focusing on is with this channel is kind of my journey as in search of joy. And in search of joy, what does that mean? What are we looking for when we're looking for joy? Well, for me, it was about learning how to eat well. And it was learning how to embrace new exercise regimens, if you want to call them. That's an interesting thing in the sky over there. Anyway, back to this. Quite interesting. But in the search of joy, I found some beautiful things. I am currently studying for my PhD in hygienic health and healing, literally the science of health and nutrition. And yoga fell into my lap because I wanted to stretch because I'm a cyclist. And then I didn't realize the beautiful healing powers and the beautiful practice and the loving, the way it's changed me holistically. Absolutely beautiful. It goes in hand. And then some of you, if you know me from my other channel, Wearable Geology, I have a small base there. And that is where I do a lot of my crystal work, which kind of coincides with everything that I'm doing holistic here in this channel. So I'd like you to join me with this first video. It's going to be a short sequence, roughly about, I have fuzzies going to my face, roughly about 26 to a half an hour long. Sorry, get those words out. And just feel in and enjoy this morning and thank the beautiful sun for shining. And I thank you guys for joining me. So go ahead and settle in. Make sure that your sit bones are planted into the ground. Spine is lengthened. Tuck your chin back as if you were, I don't know, sometimes we tend to keep our head up when we do this position. Go ahead and lower your chin down. This is Romeo. Romeo is my stray chicken I found on a bike ride a few weeks ago, huh? Now he lives here with us, safe and sound. We're going to take some short breaths here. I want you to take really deep breaths in and really become conscious with your breath. So go ahead and start to feel in some deep breaths. Exhale all the air out. Inhale and exhale. And on your last exhale, go ahead and make sure that the air is all the way out of your lungs, and we are going to do a count. We are going to do a breath count. So you're going to inhale for 4 seconds and hold for 2 seconds. Exhale for 6. Yes, everybody thinks you're handsome. So exhale fully and inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, hold. 1, 2, exhale. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2. Exhale. 4, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now go ahead and do it a couple of times at your own breath. Exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go ahead and meet in child. Child pose is a really beautiful pose. It's nice and restorative. It really kind of gets you grounded with the earth around you. This is a place where we can set our intention for the practice. Arms stretched out in front of you. Hips on the heels. Relaxing the forehead on the ground. Again, remind yourself of keeping that constant, that conscious, I should say, breath. Inhale. We're going to come up to table. Bring our legs up, cross our legs underneath. Woo! And fall back on our butt. Have the legs out, extended out in front of you. We're going to do a nice seated forward fold. I should have brought blocks for this one, but I don't have blocks, so we'll improvise. Inhale and exhale, forward fold. What we're going to do is going to lead with the heart to make sure that the spine is lengthened and straight as far as you can go. If it's here, go ahead and start to drop the head on an exhale and hold this pose. Inhale. See if you can actually maybe go a little bit deeper. And exhale. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, hold. On your next inhale, we'll go ahead and cross the ankles, back over, and come into table. From here, we're going to go into our downward facing dog, and we're going to do our flow for the morning. So tuck the toes, shoulders over the wrists, hips over the knees. My hips are on bumpy ground here. My knees are on bumpy ground here. Tuck the toes, hips lift up and back. Downward facing dog. Now our flow is only going to be a 1 breath count, but the first round in it, I'm going to show you, so it's probably going to take a couple of breaths in each one. So we're going to inhale to downward facing dog, exhale, step or jump to the top of the mat. I was going to step. That was a sloppy jump. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Make sure that there's a slight cobra in the back and your crown of the head is reaching forward. If you need to and can't keep your back straightened with your hands or fingertips on the ground, place your hands on your shins. And then exhale, fold. Plant the hands. You can step or jump back into chaturanga, or you can come into chaturanga through downward facing dog. Wave into plank. Exhale, drop the knees, chest, and chin. This is actually Ashtangasana. This is a modified pose. On an inhale, oops, shouldn't have dropped like that either. We're going to do low cobra. Make sure that when you're doing your cobra, your eyes are a little bit like right here on your mat. You don't want to jerk the neck back. I have a tendency of doing that. Shoulders up and back, not a lot of weight in the hands. Exhale, downward facing. Oh no. Exhale, downward facing dog. We're going to have to change that up a little bit. So we are going to go from Ashtangasana to low cobra to downward facing dog. That was right. All right. Now let's go ahead and step or jump to the top of the mat. Inhale, forward fold. Exhale, press so much into your feet. Wait a minute. Okay, we're going to have to cut all of that out because you didn't do any of that. Okay. So here in our downward facing dog, make sure that your hips are, tailbone is lifted up and down. So you get like a lot of strength in your legs. Your legs don't have to be entirely straight. What you really are looking for is for the length in your body, in your upper torso. Ears between the shoulders, shoulders, like, I don't know, you're like externally rotating the biceps while internally rotating the hands a little bit. That's the way I can kind of explain it. And then placing the weight in the first fingers, the first finger and the thumb of your hands, not dumping all the weight in your wrists. So on inhale, downward facing dog. Exhale, step or jump to the top of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, hands to the shins. Make sure that you have a slight cobra in the back. Lengthening the spine, crown of the head is reaching forward. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, press so much into the feet that it raises the body up. One torso at a time, hands meeting above the head. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, to the arms and fold forward. On an exhale. Now, what we are going to do is we are going to, you can jump back into chaturanga or step back into downward facing dog. From here, we will roll or wave the body over into plank, making sure that the shoulders are over the wrists and the heel of the feet are pressing to the imaginary wall behind you, keeping the strength in the body, really pushing the ground away. On an exhale, we are going to move the body forward, keeping the toes tucked. Move the hips down to the ground, and we are going to come into floating cobra. On an exhale, we are going to start to bend the knees, shift the body back, downward facing dog. On an exhale, step or jump to the top of the mat. Inhale, let's come to standing. Hands to heart center. On an inhale, raise the arms up as the right leg comes up. You're going to step the right leg back. It might not be very graceful at first, and that's okay. Get into your position here. We want the right leg at a 45-degree angle. Our right leg that's extended, foot at a 45-degree angle. Pressing the weight into that pinky edge of the foot. On your knee is going to be over the ankle here on your left leg, and your knee is also going to be in line with your second toe. Inhale, extend the arms, lengthen out. Keeping the hips square, meaning really pulling forward on the right hip crease while you pull back on the left. Keeps the body squared. Pretend that you're squeezing a grapefruit behind your shoulder blades. From here, we are going to inhale and start to straighten the left as we start to push the hips back, leaning the torso forward. You can bring your left hand to a block, the shin, or to the mat. Woo! If you lose it, you can come back into it. So inhale, gazes up to the thumbs or down to the mat, whichever is comfortable for you. Hold that pose. On your next exhale, go ahead and plant the hands, step back, and we'll switch and do our flow. So, downward facing dog, step or jump to the top of the mat. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, press so much into the feet, you come to standing, hands above the head. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, jump or step back into chaturanga. Or actually, step back into downward facing dog, not chaturanga. We're going to do something different. Roll the body over into plank. Keep moving the hips forward, forward, forward until we're doing a floating cobra or upward facing dog. This is actually floating cobra. Exhale, bend the knees, start to shift the hips back into downward facing dog. I like that. That feels good. On exhale, jump to the top of the mat. Forward fold. Inhale, press into the mat so much it lifts the hands above the head as the left knee comes to meet at a 45-degree angle, comes up. Exhale, step the left foot back and set up your feet for warrior on the left side or on the right side. Can't tell. Left side's back. Make sure that the left foot... Sorry, I had to edit that part out because the timer went off right in the middle of the sentence. So what we're looking for here, same thing, is you want to make sure that the left foot is at a 45-degree angle. Knee on the right side is over the ankle and in line with the second toe. Okay? Inhale. Arms reaching in opposite directions. Really extending here. On our next inhale, go ahead and start to straighten the front leg as we push the hips back. And our right hand comes to a block, the shin or the ground, front or back. As we gaze up to the thumb or gaze down at the mat, whichever is comfortable for you. Left hand is reaching heaven. Inhale, or exhale, I should say. Plant the hands, step back, downward facing dog, and we shall do, don't want to crush you, bug, do our flow. Exhale, step or jump to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway fold, or halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come to Tadasana. Hands meet above the head. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come back to downward facing dog. Roll into plank. Roll even further into upward facing dog. Hips coming down, arms straight. Exhale, bend the knees. Sending the hips up, downward facing dog. Exhale, jump to the top of the mat. Inhale, forward, fold. Now let's go ahead And inhale and come to standing. And exhale, hands to heart center. And what we're going to do here is we're going to do tree pose. And you don't want to be looking at me when you're doing tree. You want to be looking at something else that's not moving. And what we're going to do is we are going to lift, put all the weight into your right foot, lift your toes up and place them back on the ground. And from here, you're going to take the left leg and we are going to place it on the inner part of the thigh right here, or you can even kickstand it right here. We'll see where I'm at today. Every day is different for me. On an inhale, hands to heart center, and balance. Making sure that you're really pressing that left leg into your right thigh, just as if you were standing on the ground. Both legs really, really strong. Dropping that left hip down. Inhale, raise the branches. Exhale, go ahead and let everything go. Shake out that right leg. Good job. Inhale, we will switch sides. Put all that weight into the left leg. Lifting up your toes, planting them back down, getting that root in there. Feeling it, feeling your foot all on the floor. Lift the right leg to the, like I said, the inner thigh, the calf, or kickstand it. Let's see if I can do it on this side. I seem a little wobbly on this side today. Woo! See? If you come out, it's all right. You can come back into it. Lift the branches. Exhale. Let's go ahead and come out of it. All right, guys. I have a little ant on here. So we're going to go ahead and cool it down for the day, and we're going to move this down. Awesome. All right, cool. Move it down to the mat. So however you need to get down to the mat, let's go ahead and meet on the mat. And from here, we're going to go ahead and wind this down by doing we're going to do a recline pigeon. Let's go ahead and have find a spot that isn't lumpy. There we go. This video is going to suck. So inhale. Cross the right ankle over the left knee. Sorry, I get my directions confused. You're going to reach through the hole here and your left hand either behind the thigh, the left thigh, or in front of the left knee. Keeping your right foot in a figure, right leg in a figure 4 position as we pull in. Also, you can intensify this pose by keeping your lower back or your sacrum flat on the mat. See how that changes the stretch a little bit. Inhale, go ahead and drop the foot and we'll switch sides. Left ankle over the right knee. Figure 4. Left arm reaching through. I don't know what this is. I'll have to figure that, how to cue that. Hands can be behind the right thigh or in front of the right knee. Keeping that left leg open in a figure 4 to Today I guess I'm using my elbow to push it out. I need that stretch apparently. And I'm keeping my sacrum glued to the mat. From here, exhale, place both feet on the mat, and we are going to go ahead and extend out and do our Shavasana. In your Shavasana, I'm actually going to sit up. And you guys can stay in Shavasana, and I will talk you through this a little bit. In Shavasana, it is really nice. It's one of the most difficult poses that I found for me. I am a pretty energetic person, and I found that when I would come to an end of a practice, I'd want to get up and move around. And Shavasana was really challenging for me. As I've grown in my practice, I love this pose because it actually helps you feel inside the body. So right now you can breathe and you can see how your breath is, where your thoughts are. You can take a moment to feel how the mat feels under the head, arms, low back, and legs. Feel how the energy in your body is, if it's racing around. If you've woken up some stuff, you can feel the prana, the life energy. Romeo's cueing you guys too. On your next exhale, go ahead and roll over to the right side, curling up into a ball, bringing your knees up to your chest. With the top arm, or the top hand, go ahead and push yourself up into seated, and we'll meet in cross-legged position, easy seated pose. Let's bring our hands to our heart center. Say thank you to yourself for showing up. Because sometimes that's all it is just showing up. And I appreciate you to allow me to help you out with your morning stretch. I'm really grateful for that. So let's go ahead and thumbs to the third eye. And we'll bow forward and we'll say namaste together. Thank you guys. I hope you join me next week. There's my neighbors.